Walk into any commercial gym and you will see the same strange phenomenon. Huge chest, big arms, wide shoulders. Then you look up and the neck disappears completely. The body looks like it was assembled by different people on different days. And suddenly, the physique does not look powerful anymore. That is because the neck is the bridge connecting the entire frame together. A thicker neck changes your whole presence before anybody notices your abs. I learned this the hard way because many Asian guys, including me, naturally have thinner and longer necks. You spend months hammering shoulder presses, hoping to look intimidating. Meanwhile, your neck is sitting there looking like a stressed-out USB cable. Same face, same body fat, same muscles. But one guy has a thicker neck, and suddenly he looks tougher, more athletic, and way more masculine, without even flexing. Look at fighters like Mike Tyson. His neck alone looked like it could pay taxes. Boxers, football players, MMA athletes. Their necks are built like armor because a strong neck helps stabilize the head during impact. But even outside sports, the benefits are huge. Better posture, less stiffness, fewer headaches. Right now, half the population walks around bent over their phones, looking like exhausted shrimp, scrolling social media for 8 straight hours. The interesting part is, neck muscles often grow fast because they barely get trained directly during normal life. Your chest gets blasted every Monday. Arms get endless curls from every guy chasing a sleeve-stretching pump. But the neck almost never receives real tension. Once you finally train it directly, the body adapts quickly, and the visible difference becomes obvious within months. And the best part is, you do not need expensive machines or fancy gym equipment. Everything in this video can be done at home with simple movements, consistency, and a little controlled suffering. One mistake almost everybody makes with neck training is treating the neck like some tiny background muscle that does not need preparation. That is a terrible idea. Your neck is small, sensitive, and ridiculously easy to irritate when you rush into heavy reps like an overexcited gym bro trying to impress strangers at Planet Fitness. Think about how much responsibility your neck handles every single day. It supports your head for hours while you stare at screens, drive, work, and scroll social media with the posture of a sleepy turtle. Then suddenly people decide to throw plates on their forehead without warming up first. That is how you earn a stiff neck that makes turning your head feel like a horror movie scene. A proper warm-up only takes a couple minutes, but it changes everything. Start with slow nodding movements. Then gently rotate your neck side to side. After that, perform light side bends, bringing the ear toward the shoulder with full control. Nothing explosive, nothing aggressive. Your goal is not looking tough during the warm-up. Your goal is preparing the muscles, joints, and connective tissue for movement. Good warm-ups increase blood flow, activate the muscles, and reduce injury risk. Skip this step and your neck will humble you very quickly. Trust me, nobody wants to explain to coworkers why they move through the office like a broken action figure because they skipped 3 minutes of preparation. The neck curl is probably the best starting point for beginners because it teaches your neck how to handle direct tension without turning the workout into a wrestling documentary. Simple movement, huge payoff. And honestly, this is where many people first notice their neck finally starting to look thicker and stronger. To perform it, set yourself on a flat bench with your shoulders close to the edge and your head hanging freely. From there, slowly bring your chin toward your chest, like you were trying to crush an invisible orange under your jaw. Then, lower the head back down with full control. No jerking, no bouncing, no acting like you were possessed by gym demons. In the beginning, body weight is more than enough. Your neck is not used to direct training, so focus on smooth repetitions and a full range of motion. Learn control first. Ego lifting with neck exercises is one of the fastest ways to regret your life decisions during the next morning commute. Once the movement feels natural, you can gradually add resistance using a small plate or dumbbell placed carefully on the forehead. Putting a towel between the weight and your head helps reduce pressure and makes the exercise far more comfortable. What makes this movement valuable is how it develops the front of the neck, which instantly makes the entire upper body look more powerful and athletic. Personally, I think this is the easiest and safest exercise for helping beginners prepare their neck for harder movements later on. If neck curls build the front of the neck, then neck extensions handle the other side of the armor. This exercise targets the back of the neck, which plays a huge role in supporting the head, improving posture, and creating that thick, powerful look from behind. A strong rear neck also helps balance all the work you do on the front side, because nobody wants a neck built like a confused chicken leaning forward all day. To perform the movement, lie face down on a flat bench with your head hanging slightly off the edge. Place a small weight plate carefully on the back of your head and slowly lower the head downward under control. From there, raise it back to a neutral position. The key word here is neutral. You are not trying to snap your spine backward like a movie exorcism scene. One mistake beginners make is hyperextending too aggressively because they think more range equals more gains. Wrong. Controlled movement beats reckless movement every time, especially with neck training. Another option is using a head harness, which many old-school fighters and strength athletes love. A harness gives more stable resistance and makes progressive overload easier as the neck becomes stronger over time. Personally, I think this exercise can feel surprisingly intense for beginners. If your neck is not used to direct work, you might experience dizziness or lightheadedness during the first sessions. That is completely why beginners should start light, move slowly, and respect the adaptation process carefully first. Building the front and back of the neck is important, but if you ignore rotation and lateral flexion, your neck strength becomes incomplete. This is the part of training that helps the neck function like a real stabilizer, instead of just a muscle built for mirror selfies and awkward gym flexing. For neck rotations, you can lie on a mat, bench, or even your bed at home. Slowly rotate the head from side to side with control. The movement should feel smooth and deliberate, not rushed like somebody trying to crack their neck before a heavy deadlift set. This exercise trains the smaller muscles responsible for stability, coordination, and controlled movement. Next comes lateral flexion, which targets the sides of the neck. Lie on your side with your head slightly hanging off the edge of a bench or couch. Lower your ear toward the shoulder, then raise it back up slowly. Simple movement, but surprisingly humbling once the muscles start burning. The biggest mistake here is using momentum. Do not jerk the neck, twist the torso, or throw your entire body around like you are escaping an invisible alligator. Keep everything controlled and strict. As you become stronger, you can add resistance using a head harness for more consistent loading. These movements help create balanced neck development while improving functional strength, stability, and overall control, which matters both inside the gym and during everyday life activities too. The neck bridge, also called the wrestler bridge, is probably one of the most legendary neck exercises ever created. Wrestlers, boxers, MMA fighters, and old-school combat athletes have used this movement for decades to build what people call an iron neck. This exercise is not just about appearance. It develops the kind of neck strength that helps absorb impact, resist pressure, and maintain stability during physical contact. To perform the basic version, lie on your back with your knees bent and feet planted firmly on the floor. From there, push through the feet and carefully lift the body while the head stays connected to the ground. Your weight should distribute mainly through the neck, upper traps, and feet. Keep the hips elevated and the spine stable throughout the movement. At first, the position feels strange because your neck suddenly realizes life is no longer peaceful. But over time, this exercise can dramatically improve neck thickness, cervical endurance, trap activation, and overall neck stability. That is exactly why combat athletes value it so much. A stronger neck helps resist takedowns, absorb strikes, and keeps the head stable during clinches and grappling exchanges. Now, here is the important warning. Beginners should not rush into this exercise immediately. Personally, I think this movement can become dangerous if the neck is not prepared first. Spend at least 2 or 3 weeks building strength with basic neck curls, extensions, and lateral work before attempting bridges. Even better, practice under supervision from a qualified trainer, because neck injuries are not something you want to gamble with, ever. Here is a simple neck routine that works surprisingly well without turning your workout into a medieval torture session. Start with 1 or 2 minutes of warm-up movements, including nods, rotations, and side bends. Then perform neck curls for 3 sets of 10 to 20 reps while gradually increasing resistance over time. Follow with neck extensions for 3 sets, focusing on controlled form and slow progression. After that, do neck rotations and lateral flexion for 3 sets of 10 to 20 reps per side. Finally, advanced trainees can add wrestler bridges for 3 sets, but beginners should completely avoid this exercise at first. Personally, I think training the neck 1 or 2 times per week is more than enough for noticeable progress. The neck responds quickly when you finally start giving it direct work, instead of ignoring it for years, like forgotten gym equipment collecting dust in the corner. If your recovery is solid and soreness stays manageable, you can gradually increase frequency to 3 or even 4 sessions weekly. But here is the important part. Do not overtrain the neck. Constant stiffness, pain, and tightness are signs that you are doing too much too soon. Neck training is not about acting reckless. It is about precision, balance, and control. An imbalanced neck can create terrible posture, make the head tilt awkwardly, and ruin overall symmetry, even if the rest of your physique looks good. The core principles are simple. Train the neck directly. Apply progressive overload slowly over time. Use enough volume to stimulate growth. Keep the form clean. Control the tempo on every repetition. Do that consistently, and your entire frame will start looking stronger.